Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to episode 42 of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. You know, we're supposed to have answers to life, the universe, and everything in this episode, but instead, we're just going to do some elemental craft and some Botania. So we're going to get Runic Altar, we're going to get the Terrestial Agglomeration Plate, and we're going to try to get all the way through making our pure crystals today. That's an ambitious schedule, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I'm over here by the elemental craft stuff because I was hoping to still catch it while I was making them. But what I did was I just put these little item transporters here, blacklisted the inert crystals, and then I'm feeding in inert crystals to each of them to get us made up some of the crystals for each of the types, because we've got a lot more to do. We got to make gem crystallizers, and we got to make all kinds of stuff to get further into elemental craft, and we're going to need some of these from each of our crystal types. That's not what I wanted to start with today, but I just wanted to show you that because I'm going to stick some more things in here with our wireless. I can do that standing right here. That's so exciting. I'm going to load these back up, and then we're going to move on to getting our Botania stuff out of the way. So this stuff for the Runic Altar has been in the chest for a few episodes. I have almost all the stuff together for our Terrasteel Agglomeration Plate. It was actually why I was making these crystals, was because we need those, and then I need to snag us one more mana diamond. So I'm going to make those crystal blocks out of these that I made up. I grabbed the mana diamond, and I will meet you guys out at the miniaturization crafting. All right, I think I have everything we need together for it, so we're going to grab our schematic out of here. And we're going to tell it that you're not making the AE2 controller. You are making which one? Well, we can do the Runic Altar first. That is fine. Check the box. Let's tell it where to put it. Oh, you take up the whole thing. Cool. All right, we toss that in there. We toss all these materials we have for both of them in here. And then if we tell it to go, should assemble it for us. Man, having all this in the schematic cannon is so nice not to have to sit here and look at the thing and place these blocks 87 times to make sure you get it right. I love it. As usual, break a block, replace it, toss in your ingredient. There's our Runic Altar. Next thing we need to make, let's grab our schematic back out, and we're going to make our Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate. So we just need to find that one in the list. All right, I don't see it. All right, here we go. So let's grab our ingredients and have fun with this. I think it is a base of lapis, correct? It's 20 of them, so there's going to be 4 that aren't lapis. Let's go single layer. All right, there we go. That helps. So mana steel in the middle, and 20 lapis all around the outside. So let's get our mana steel and our lapis. Okay. And our next layer up. We put a mana steel in the middle, the elemental stuff, and the bricks. So mana steel in the middle. I hope the colors don't matter the order. Looks like it's just going to be bricks in the corner all the way up. All right. I think we have it right. Let's find out. Oh, I didn't make it into the field. Okay, so then we have something wrong. So it needs to be yellow with red to the right of it. And our yellow, let red to the... All right, so yellow, red, green, blue. Feel like I'm summoning a Power Ranger. There we go. Colors do matter, what order they're in. There we go. All right. So these are two pretty big tasks for Botania. So the runic altar we're going to use to, as you might have guessed it, make a bunch of runes. It's where we're going to make, garden growth boost in the garden cloche. Cool, we can make some soil for garden cloches. But the main things we're going to be using it to make it are our runes. Rune of air, earth, energy. So don't plan on doing any of this in today's episode. I don't think it's needed for any of the stuff we're actually getting into. The stuff I want to get into is I want to get that portal to Alfheim so I can get my 64K disk in my storage system. So that's why we're kind of headed down this route. So, yeah, there we have it. We got those crafted up. So the Terrestrial Agglomeration plate is a multi-block that needs mana that we're going to have to place down in the world. It needs living stone in a, X, and then the plus sign worth of lapis with that on top, and then we can start making our Terrasteel, which takes a lot of mana. So I'm going to go get a spot set up for that out on the Create Island, and yeah, meet you guys over there. All right, so here we are. I set up the Terrestrial Agglomeration plate. We'll go ahead and just move that just for those of you who haven't seen it before. It is just your living rock and a checkerboard pattern with your lapis block, and then your Terrestrial Agglomeration plate goes right on top, and then we're going to toss a spark on it to move our mana from our mana pools over here. The spark, as I just realized that some of you guys watching this haven't done this stuff because you keep saying you're learning stuff, so let's cover it. The spark is how you move mana. Now you can make dominant and recessive sparks and all sorts of things, augments on them to make them do certain things, but the basic spark will serve you pretty well. It's just 2 petals, a gold nugget, and 2 blaze powder to make 1, and I put 1 over each pool, so those can all be accessed by the sparks, and then I put 1 here, so when this thing needs mana, it's gonna pull it from those nearby sparks. I think it works better if you have the right ingredients. I was once again trying to do like the vanilla thing and just the mana steel, but no, we have to make it into mana steel plate on this one. So let's see if it will take our ingredients now. There we go. I thought I knew what I was doing. I just didn't have the right ingredients. And there is our Terrasteel. So now we can just add them in again until we drain our mana pools. Although this uses a lot of mana, so who knows how many pieces of Terrasteel we're going to get. We are not going to be able to get all the way to our portal to Alfheim today because there's a lot between us and it, but we definitely can get started. One of the big hurdles is for our Natura pylons, the ones that go on either side of the portal. Those require Ostrom, which comes from Mars. So we're going to have to go to Mars before we can do 64K storage disks, but we already started down this road of talking about the Terrestrial Agglomeration plate and making our Terrasteel. So going to make some with you guys. Does that kill our mana pools? No? Probably make a couple more. How much do we have? Let's see what we get. So there we have it. Terrasteel. I think I'm going to stop there. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need for any of the other pieces today, but it definitely marks off that from the list for us. So now, the runic altar, I don't know that like I said, I don't think we need any of that for anything today. But when we get there, we'll cover it up. I just put it here so we knew where it was, right near all of our mana generation and everything, so that we can get mana to the altar when we need to make stuff on it. So next on the list for me is to start down the road of being able to get to our pure crystals, which is going to be a process. We are going to have to start by making gem crystallizers, because in order to craft any of these pedestals, we need the big boy gems, which we take the regular crystals and feed it diamonds to get it to give us a chance to get the other ones. Yeah, so it's kind of a process. We will work through it together. Let me craft up these gem crystallizers. I think, yeah, everything here we have gone over and done before. So give me a minute. I will get us some gem crystallizers made and meet you back over at our elemental craft. All right, so while we're here at our storage, we're going to go ahead and make our pure infuser. That is the thing that'll go in the center of our elemental craft setup. And then for each of these, we're going to need one of the fine air gems, which we get a chance of getting with a diamond, and the shards, which we can increase our chances, I believe, by putting more shards in there. So gonna grab out all of those. So we have our crystals here. Now we just need some diamonds and some of each of the shards. Let's get all of that, and then we will make our crystals to then be able to make our elemental pedestals. All right, so it's been a while since I've done this, so I can't remember if I put the diamond in first or if I put the element shard thing in first. So, all right, I think I got it figured out. We got our fine gem after 4 tries on the earth. So let's see if we can do better on the air, which is next. Why did I grab water? I don't know. So you put your diamond in, and then you just right-click it again with your air crystal. Now, you should be able to augment it with shards to increase your chances of getting the good stuff, but I can't get it to let me do it, and maybe I just don't remember how to use it. But, yeah, so we got a pristine on the first try, but let's make another one, because maybe we'll save that pristine for one that actually calls for a pristine, and we'll see. There we go, fine air gem on the second one. Heck yeah. Okay, so we need that for our air pedestal, right? Just one. And we want to use the lower tier if possible, because these are harder to get than these. Next up is going to be fire. So, fire. And a diamond. Hey, look at that. Fine air gem, or fine fire gem on the first try. And then last, but not least, will be water. Haha, I got the water on the first try too. Heck yeah, there we go. So there are all 4 of our fine gems we need for our pedestals. These are going to be done in the elemental binders on top of here, and we need an elemental infuser for each one. So let me reset this for the next one, and I'll be right back. All right, we're going to start down here with water. I hope there's enough in the container. Looks like there is. So this is one of the ordered crafts. First thing in is the infuser. Next is the gem. After that, the swift, and then 2 white rock. And that should make up our infuser. While that one's making, we can move on to the next one. Same thing. Infuser, gem, swift alloy, 2 white rock. While that's crafting, we will keep going down. This is air. Infuser, air, swift, white, white. And then for our last one, earth. Infuser, earth, swift alloy, white rock, white rock. And then here we can see our first one down here has finished. So we have our water pedestal. We have our fire pedestal. And in just a second, we'll have our air and earth. We can go ahead and put up this other stuff out of our inventory here. There's air. And there's earth. And while I've been doing all this crafting on here, I've just been occasionally sticking more shards in here. I'm going to work to automate this. I think I want to use compacting drawers, so this is going to need to be somewhere near our drawer controller, because then I can just have it export only the powerful ones directly into each of these jars, and I'd like to build us up like a buffer or a network of element. That's going to be coming in some future episodes, because we have a bunch of stuff that just requires some of this to be auto-crafted all the time for us, and it'd be nice to have a supply of the element so that we can sort of set up some export buses on things and get a stockpile of stuff we need. All right, so why did we make all that stuff, Wooly? Well, that is a great question. I'm so glad that you were paying attention and you asked. It's awesome of you. We need it to make Fireite Ingots. These Fireite Ingots are going to be used for a few things that we're doing. I don't remember exactly all of them, but I know one of the major ones is for our next tier of magnets. We need flux-infused ingots, and we need to make volatile substrate, which we can already do. We're getting substrate from one of our processes. I don't remember where. Somewhere in mechanism, something is generating substrate. What was it? I don't honestly know, but we got it somewhere. And then the other is the Fireite ingot, and it needs to be energized with the substrate in an energizing orb to make us 2 of these ingots. And then these ingots are used in the arc furnace 1-to-1 with our current magnets to upgrade them, and it will double our magnetic force from 4 to 8 again. So that should get us a ton more RF out of our magnet setup than what we're currently getting. So that's why we're going through this exercise of making all of these, is so that we can make our Fireite ingot. Well, y'all, it has decided to rain on our elemental craft parade. If I spin the camera around where it's under the rain shield, you guys don't see it. But as soon as I turn around and look where I need to look, it's raining. And it's daytime. And I don't have my Teru Bozu or anything like that to change the weather. So with the rain, we shall deal. All right, I wonder if this pure infuser setup is like all the others. So fire up top, earth down bottom, air to the right, water to the left. Okay, I'm going to forget that, so just so you know. All right, let's put our pure infuser down. Oh, look at that. It shows us, and it shows us like it can be any of them. Look, that's so nice. So then air, there, and there. I think that's going to work for us. Now we just need some elemental containers behind each of them with an evaporator on top. Let's get our elements down on our hotbar. And this one is earth, so evaporator. Fill it with earth shards. There we go. And then I made some improved element pipes so that it can send faster. And then is it right there? I'll right click. Yep, there we go. And it pulls it out of there and starts sending it to here. Sweet. So I'm going to repeat that for each of the elements, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So while I was setting this up and waiting on some mana to, or not mana, element or source or whatever they call this stuff, while I was waiting on these to generate, I was looking through the quest book, and they actually give you 1 pure crystal for free when you make all the pieces. So we could, in theory, go ahead and go make our Fireite ingot, but I feel that it's probably pretty important to just go through the process of this. So on each corresponding pedestal, we're going to place 1 of the element crystal for that kind, the ones I was making at the beginning of today's episode so that we would have them. And then here in the middle, you just put your diamond, and as long as there is enough mana in all the jars, it's pretty instantaneous. We should be able to automate this with some hoppers or maybe even laser IO, which I do really, really, really want to play around with. So gonna have to get started on that. But for now, I'm just gonna manually make us up a few. I don't know. Let's see. Fireite, how much of that did we need and what did we need it for again? Please hold. So I'm gonna make up probably half a stack or so of these. I'll probably add some hoppers and whatnot. And then I'll come back to you guys once all of them have crafted up. All right, y'all. So I set this up with some barrels and whatnot, just and wooden hoppers, which are super fast to automate it. And it spit out 11 of them in about 2 seconds. And then there was no more element in these containers. So what'll happen is, as it fills up, these barrels here all have the appropriate crystals. They will dump onto here, and as soon as there's enough, it'll craft another one and toss it down into our barrel right here. I just blacklisted the diamond to make sure it doesn't pull the diamond off and send it into a barrel I stuck in the ground. So that is going to get us automated with what we need. We need to get up to half a stack. So I just wanted to show you guys what I did to set it up. Now, all of this will translate well once we get our network expanded more from Applied Energistics and we can get out here. We should be able to just replace these with exporters and importers and, have it constantly crafting. We can even export our shards to keep our jars full. Eventually we can upgrade these now that we have pure crystals coming into the reservoirs, which hold even more of the element. One more little thing to share with you. If you're being impatient in your world and don't want to sit here and wait on this thing to naturally do this, you can temporal pouch these elemental evaporators to speed it up. So if we just give these like the 32x zing here and go around, make sure you've got a full stack of shards in there so you're not wasting your temporal pouch. Although at this point, if you're like me in your game, I use it all the time, and it seems to always have more time in it. But now we can watch, and these are coming in about 1 a second, which is great. That allows us to proceed on with the rest of our day today. But as I was saying, I don't know if it got cut off. I had a phone call come in. As I was saying, now that we have pure crystals coming in, we'll be able to update these to elemental containers. And once we automate these elemental containers, then we will be able to say, okay, we'll stop once you get to 256 pure crystals or whatever. And it'll stop exporting the stuff here and shut it off. And then we'll be able to back up and have a surplus of them, which would mean that if we have a surplus of the element and then we all of a sudden needed, 15 or 20 more than our 256 that we had, the crafts on them would be almost instantaneous. So it'll be real nice, and it's going to be real easy to back the system up and just have these on demand. It's just going to require us to get a little bit further along with AE2, get ourselves a quantum portal connected out here so we can have AE2 on this island, or run ugly pipes through the air. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to see Fluix cable running all over the place, in the outside of the base. So now we can make our Fireite ingot. Our Fireite ingot is going to take us back over to the other side, and we're just going to be crafting some stuff in an elemental binder over our fire element. I will meet you there. Alrighty, so I set us up a ordered sorter over our elemental binder here for fire, and we just need to tell it netherite, swift, springaline, and pure crystal. So netherite, swift, springaline, pure crystal. Open up the shulker box, toss the items in, and I messed up. I forgot to blacklist these items, and it's just pulling my items through. So hang tight. Here we go. Got to blacklist them so they stay in there to get converted. Okay, and now we should be... There we go. There's our Fireite coming out. Let's put this stuff back in. There we go. So this is going to make us the 48 Fireite that we need to convert our magnet ring. Now, the one last thing that we need for our magnets for the next tier is going to be those volatile substrates. So we need substrate and volatile redstone and a fluid encapsulator, which we have all that. Let me get it together and we will make those happen. There we have our Fireite ingots, all 48 of them. Now it's time to encapsulate some fluid in the fluid encapsulator here. Let's toss in our substrate. We had just over 12 buckets, which should be more than enough for us to get all 48 of the volatile substrate we need. There we go. All right, can I take the rest of that fluid back out? I sure can. Let's get over here to the thingy, the energizing orb. As you can see, I was making some more charged Certus quartz. And now to make the flux infused ingot we need to upgrade our magnets, we toss these in and we let it energize. Now this takes 1,000,000 FE per. So it might be time for us to start looking into upgrading our energizing rods from Powa. However, this is going to push us probably past the time limit for today's video. So look forward to me going over some upgraded Powa stuff to energize things faster, maybe even an automation setup for Powa in the next episode. But for right now, we're going to pause, and I am going to try to get through and get us our tier 4 magnets before the end of the episode. So it'll only be a second for you, but it might be a while for me. There we have our first flux infused ingot of many. So as I said, I'm going to continue to push on through and get these done for you, and we will upgrade our setup in the next one. All right, so we finished our flux infused ingots there, and I'm not going to take apart my entire coil because I don't want to set the wither loose. So we will spread this out, turn it on, and see if we can get one set of rings done at a time before it drains my power and the wither destroys our spaceport. So let's go downstairs and keep an eye on our energy cube while that is smelting and make sure that we are not going to have big problems. So right now, we appear to be okay. It appears to be holding. Can I speed it up? Do I dare try to speed it up? Okay. Are you now draining the pipe? No, you're not. Oh, but I replaced the end with the lower throughput ones. So let's try again. Still going. Looks like it's going to work. All right, so I will let this smelt up. I will unpause and show you guys the finished product, and then we will come back when I have all of the rings upgraded. Here's our first round of fluxated magnetite. That gets us another progression over here on our magnets, which gets us no quest rewards. I mean, come on, it'd be nice. We're working hard. Here, give us something for free. All right, let's see if we can add all these without it overstressing at max speed. I have a feeling the answer is going to be no. So we're probably going to have to step our rotation down, but we shall see. So I think we can just right click on the face here and it'll place them. Oh, wow. It did not overstress it. What are we up to? We were at 7.9K FE a tick before, 9.8K. So it added almost 2K, 1800 FE a tick for one row. Awesome. So we are basically going to double our energy output. Now, we may not be able to keep it at 256 rotations without adding a second diesel generator or regulating the speed down on the speed controller some, but I will get to work on getting this done. And you know what? We're going to cliffhanger it. I will let you guys know what our power is up to in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching. I really just appreciate you choosing to spend your time watching me play Minecraft. So it's awesome. And if you really enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button for me and all the other good stuff. If you're enjoying it, hit subscribe, ring the bell, do a little dance, all those fun things to get YouTube to be like, hey, this guy needs more people watching. So we'll see you all next time.